Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be doing my second trimester update. I think I mentioned in my first trimester update that I wanted to kind of split this into two parts, kind of just right at the anatomy scan. So this is going to be part one, and then once I'm out of my second trimester, I'll post part two, obviously. But I did not want to make you guys wait until the end of the video to learn this, so I'm just going to throw it in real quickly at the beginning. We did find out that this baby is a girl, and we decided that her name's going to be Remy. We are super excited. We kind of both were wishing for a boy, but kind of knew deep down that it was a girl, which was funny to me because I was super convinced at the beginning that it was a boy just because this pregnancy has been a complete 180 from Sophie's. I was gonna make a really cute video, kind of like my pregnancy announcement, but honestly, I either forgot my camera or Sophie was having a meltdown, or I just didn't feel like doing it because Mama's tired, all right? Like, I am drained by this point, so just know that I wanted to make that video for you guys, but I don't have the energy to do it. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that. I'm just going to kind of go into my symptoms and stuff like that. I have it all down on my phone, so if I'm looking down, I'm sorry. But I guess the first thing would be around my second trimester, like that first couple weeks, is when my sickness and my headaches seemed to go away, which was really nice because I just felt like those two were so debilitating in a way. Honestly, they were just so bad all the time. So I was really grateful when that kind of seemed to ease up. And then for a couple weeks, I just kind of felt good. I felt a little bit more energetic, just had really no complaints, honestly. And then that's when I felt like my whole body hurt all the time, and more specifically my stomach and my abdomen, stuff like that. It seems like I've felt my uterus grow every single little inch this pregnancy, which is just super weird to me because with Sophie, I just feel like all of a sudden there was this just big old belly and I didn't even know where it came from. But with Remy, I just feel like I feel it every single day, my uterus like stretching and growing and her stretching and growing, and it's just crazy. But it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was painful, uncomfortable, I guess is more the word. It just would make me uncomfortable a lot of the time, and with that, I think just because my uterus was stretching and growing, that my back hurt a lot of the time. I don't have it too much anymore. I'm still in my second trimester. I should throw that out there. I am 23 weeks and 3 days today, but not so much anymore unless I'm standing for long periods or something like that. Then my back tends to hurt, but in the first weeks of my second trimester, it really hurt all the time. I had really bad back pain with Sophie, but that was at the first trimester, and I never really got it ever again. Even when I had this big old belly, my back didn't hurt, but this time my back has hurt really bad. And then a little bit more recently, I feel like I've been super tired, like exhausted, just completely 110% drained. Like, I wake up tired, I go to bed tired, everything in between I'm tired for, but I feel like that's just obviously part of the process. I was pretty tired in the first trimester, but nothing how I feel now. I feel just totally drained all the time, and that might also have to do with the fact that I have a 1-year-old that I watch all day, so you know, that keeps me busy and that keeps me going, but it is also extremely tiring. So I do have that, but the only other thing I've noticed as of recently is I'm a little bit more emotional and a little bit more quick-tempered, which is not a stray from my regular personality, but it's over trivial little things, and I can just tell in my head, like, you're just being hormonal, could you just cut it for a second? So those are things as of lately, and the only craving that I've had so far is Chick-fil-A. I've never had a craving where I was like, I need it right now, like, we have to go, get in the car, it's happening, this is done. But this has been a craving like that. It was actually kind of funny. The one night I told Margot, I was like, I want Chick-fil-A for dinner. Well, the closest Chick-fil-A to us is like an hour away, and we really had no reason to go into that town or anything other than I just wanted Chick-fil-A. And I can't remember what it was, but he was like, okay, whatever, like, we'll go. And then it ended up being around like 4 or 5 o'clock, and he started talking about making something for dinner, and I was like, we're not going to Chick-fil-A? And he's like, no, it's too late for that. And I was so devastated. Like, I probably could have punched him in the face if I hadn't controlled myself, because I wanted the Chick-fil-A so bad. And I don't know what it is, but every time I eat it, I'm just so in love with it. It's so good. I don't know why. I've literally probably ate at Chick-fil-A maybe like 5 or 6 times in my life. It's just not a place that I normally visit, but we went there just because one night. I think we were just on our way home from something, and it was one of the restaurants that was open and it wasn't too busy. So we went in and I fell in love. I don't know what it is, but that's been my only craving. And then the last two big things that I wanted to tell you guys about was my anatomy scan, which I guess I'll just get to that first. You guys already know that we found out that it was a girl, and everything looked good with her, although I had it done at 19 weeks and they weren't able to see everything that they needed to because, you know, she was so little then, that they made me come back in 4 weeks and just make sure that everything was good to go. One of the things that they were having trouble seeing was her heart, but that was also because Remy was actually like face down, spine up, and it was just, she was not moving, she was not cooperating. It was really hard, and it was actually really hard to find out that she was a girl. She only like opened up her legs because she actually had them crossed for the longest time for like 2 minutes, and the ultrasound tech was able to look really quick. So I went back this past week and I got more images done of the stuff that they just weren't able to see super clearly, and then we also did a complete fetal echo on her just because I think they just wanted to be safe because they didn't see it. It was a 45-minute long ultrasound, and except for 5 minutes at the end of it, Remy was face down, spine up, and we couldn't get her to move. Everything looks great with her. You know, they said her brain, her heart, everything's where it should be. And also, I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet, but so far at 23 weeks, she does not have any ovarian cysts, unlike Sophie, who she had like a few by this time. So we're really thankful for that. You know, it's not too much of a health concern as long as they're watching it and the cysts continue to get smaller and they eventually go away after birth. It's really not a health concern, but we took a ton of trips to Sophie's endocrinologist. She got like 6 or 7 ultrasounds done within the first 9 months of her life, and it was just a lot, and it's a lot especially for a baby. So if Remy doesn't have to go through that, we're gonna be super, super grateful for that. So far, no ovarian cysts, which is a great thing. And then the last thing I have to tell you guys, I've actually been struggling with whether or not I wanted to bring it up. If I can help one mom not feel how I do, then I feel like it's worth putting it out there for you guys. So I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. It kind of came as a shock to me because I did not have it with Sophie. So yeah, I just kind of did the standard 1-hour test. They said that I failed that. They didn't give me too many details about that one. Told me to go back. I got the 3-hour test done, and that's when they called me, and I actually failed by just a few points, which was kind of infuriating to me. You know, you miss that by just a few points. But my doctor is always safe rather than sorry with me just because of my previous loss and things like that. So anything that my doctor suggests or she wants to go with, I'm game for. She takes really good care of me. I couldn't ask for a better OBGYN, and I love her to death. When you get diagnosed with gestational diabetes in my OBGYN practice, they will outsource you to a high-risk doctor. That high-risk doctor is just going to co-manage me in my gestational diabetes kind of aspect of my pregnancy. I'm still going to see my regular OBGYN and everything like that, but I am going to have to make visits to my high-risk doctor. And in talking with her, and I've met with a nutritionist and things like that, they did reassure me that I am a pretty healthy eater, and the only thing that I had to really change about my diet was the frequency. Honestly, I'm not a big eater. I kind of snack, like, and I mean barely snack throughout the day, and then I have a huge dinner at night. That's just kind of how I've always eaten. And I learned that I need to have a breakfast, I need to have an after breakfast snack, I have to have a lunch, and then an after lunch snack, a dinner, and then a nighttime snack. And that's a lot of eating for me. I honestly told them that I was straight up, I was like, I do not know how I'm gonna eat this much food. And it was kind of hard to get used to at first. If it means, you know, just keeping an extra close eye on her, making sure I'm okay, that she's okay, that, you know, I can carry her to term. That's all that matters to me, and I'll do whatever's necessary. So yeah, it's been an experience. I don't think I could fit everything that I've learned and experienced about gestational diabetes in this one video. I will say at first it was an adjustment. Like, I wasn't used to eating when they wanted me to eat, so that took some getting used to. The testing my sugar, I test it as a fasting 1 hour after breakfast, 1 hour after lunch, and 1 hour after dinner, and I've had good numbers. I've had a little trouble with my fasting, but so far it's been under control, so that's really good. They've been keeping an eye on her as of weight-wise, just because I so far have not gained any weight. Well, actually, I gained my first 0.2 ounces as of 23 weeks. So I have finally gained weight. I was going back and forth between losing a few pounds and like gaining a couple ounces, or maybe even a pound, and then like I'd lose it and stuff like that. But they said as long as she's growing good, everything else is fine, which she is. And she's the right height, the right weight, everything like that for how far along I am, so that's really good. I'm not ashamed that I have gestational diabetes. It's not something that some women can even control, and you know, I've come to accept it. Like I said, I was kind of struggling, not because I'm embarrassed or anything like that by it, but it's just, it's been kind of an emotional thing, and like I said, kind of a huge adjustment and a big deal, honestly. It does make your pregnancy a high-risk pregnancy, so there's always that too, but I just didn't know if I wanted to put it out there. And I honestly have to thank my BBB admins, because I was talking to them about it and they've kind of been there since day one talking me through it. But you know, they made a good point that I feel like I could do more good and maybe make more of you feel less alone, because when I got diagnosed, I was like, none of my friends have had it. My mother's never had it. Like, nobody I've ever known who's been pregnant has had it. And that's what really helped when talking to other admins, that I found out that they had it when they were pregnant and stuff like that. So it's made me feel less alone, and if I can do that for any of you who are currently pregnant and, you know, dealing with gestational diabetes, then that's all I can hope for. And I hope you know that you're awesome, and I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, this is just going to be part 1 of my second trimester update. I will be sure to upload the second part as soon as I can for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.